Hello, you are watching EXPOZ. I'm Jody Wolf. September 24, 2011, 1:09 a.m. Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: incredible gasoline mileage. Today, where I left off a moment ago was if they could do this 50 years ago and even 100 years ago on HHO. At that time it was called Brown's gas. Then certainly we can do it today. So I'll pick up and hopefully wrap it up. I want to say this now. If you do find a way to run on water alone, do not tell anyone. If you have a close best friend, okay. Do not disclose to anyone because there are no one out there that'll protect you. And this is a warning. And I'm telling you straight up. So then, why the hell won't Congress listen to you and I? Well, the short answer is they too are bought off with simply millions of dollars that the oil companies pay. And you know that, I know that. Congress and senators are making money and they're pocketing it and they're screwing the American people the way they always have. So because we are being failed by the people we put in office. It's bottom line. The information you hear that I have been giving today came from Link TV, and it's a documentary called Gas Hole. Gashole. You can find that. Okay, in a nutshell, I give you two ways you can increase your gas mileage, and if someone spends enough time, thought, and effort, you will become independent from gasoline. It'll take you a while, but you can do it. They did it. You can do it. Gasoline has to be reduced to burn in your car. And what I mean reduced, it has to be cut down to fumes. This is a mist. This is fumes that burns in your car, not an actual spray. I mean, that's really too much. That's way too much. You don't need that much. So you have to think of it on the terms of reducing that. Now, back in the day, when gas lines ran up in the front of the motor, ran in front of the motor by the head, it got hot. And when it got hot, the car would vapor lock, and if you're not old enough to know this, ask somebody that is, and they'll tell you your car would quit running because it would create a pocket in your fuel line that didn't have any fuel in it, that had vapor only. But your car runs on vapor. But carburation didn't handle the vapor the way fuel injection does. So let me try to get on. Gasoline has to be reduced to burn in your car. Too much gas, you foul plugs, and your car won't run properly, and your mileage is terrible. So to reduce liquid into gas, or liquid gas into spray, this is what fuel injection will do, but 75% of your fuel is still not being burned. It goes out the tailpipe, but the reason your car is not smoking is because you have a catalytic converter. That burns up all the excess. And that's a fact. You can research that. And so heat the fuel, and I'm going to give you an idea here. So it will enter your injectors partially thinned. You want it thinned out. You want it, because when you heat gasoline, it expands. When it cools down, it sinks. In other words, they may drop 8,000 gallons at your store, and if it's 82 degrees, when it cools down to 56 degrees, that 8,000 gallons suddenly reduces itself to 7,500 gallons or less. So your gas expands. Keep that in mind. So heat the fuel so that it will enter the injectors partially thinned. Your mileage will increase just on that. Now thin it more into a vapor. This is the maximum amount of fuel you really need to run efficiently. So I'm going to give you an idea. If you run on fumes only, then your car mileage could triple or more with ease. If you could monitor the amount of vapor that you could get up to 70 miles a gallon. If you incorporate water, and your water can be used as fuel just like gasoline. Remember, water broken down has two parts, two different elements, or three. You have H2O, water. It's 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part air. So when you break it down, 2 parts of the hydrogen will burn. 1 part is hotter than the other, but both will burn. Both parts of the hydrogen going into the car, again, can lean it and lean it and lean it until you really sail on with mileage. So, but since one part burns hotter than the other, they use a thing called a bubbler, which takes out the excess air and even moisture that other part would carry with it. I know I'm not making sense, but it will. The part that comes out of the tailpipe again will be water. And that's the byproduct, water. If you take what I just gave you, you can make it work. Now, a lot of the thought, spend a lot of thought on this. Take time, experiment, and you're going to have failures, but the end result, keep doing it and keep it to yourself, because people are already doing it. They're already driving their car on water, and some are driving on water and gasoline. So I'm going to tell you another little thing, and this will be it. One more tip. Try and have a custom copper coiled hose, fuel line, made, and coil it, even if it's an inch around. Coil it. Have someone to install it in the radiator tank, the top radiator tank of your car. This fuel that goes through this line will be heated to a little over 180 degrees. And when it exits the radiator and goes into the injection, you're thinned. You are thinned, and your throttle body should take this and automatically adjust the air with the fuel, and you should be thin enough just on that to get a fair increase on your fuel. So if you do this, if you incorporate the HHO idea, and then you look into compressing water so that not steam, it can't be steam, it's got to be water vapor. When you can do those 3 things, you got your car that you could almost, and probably could, forget the gas and run it on water 100%. It'll take you a little time and effort and work, but again, it can be done. Think about it. Run your radiator or fuel line, coil it. Coil it. Just like you wrap it around an inch pipe, coil it. Coil up 6 or 8 or 10 feet, run it through the top tank of the radiator, have a radiator shop to repair or to weld the end so that it won't leak. Going into the radiator, out hot, into your injection, into the injection throttle body, incorporate it with HHO, and your gasoline consumption will drop by 90%. And if you play it just right, you'll quit buying gas. And then the next project, work on doing the same for your home. Cut the power lines. It's going to happen one day, y'all. But this is the closest I can get right now to tell you what to do. Please work on it. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ, and good luck.